Hey guys, with Disney's new streaming service scheduled to come out fall next year, I thought I'd talk about, what to probably expect out of it and maybe what Disney will probably, bring to the table as far as content and such. The reason I bring this up is because 14 days ago, DC Universe, the new streaming service from DC Comics and Warner Brothers, or DC Entertainment and Warner Brothers, was released. And just yesterday, I started my subscription. I started a 7-day free trial, as well as I'm probably going to be starting a subscription on a monthly basis, not an annual basis, because the annual might be, in some people's minds, a smarter direction to go. But there are times you're going to need that extra cash to take care of things, and right now $7.99 is probably the best direction to go with. But when I look at the DC streaming service, I've heard Angry Joe talk about it a little bit, and some other people have talked about it, and they've had mixed reactions. Some sound positive, some sound negative. The positive overall is it does have the content that it promises. It has all the animated and live action series that have come out under the Warner Brothers banner and the DC banner, from the Wonder Woman series with Linda Carter to the George Reeves Adventures of Superman, to Lois and Clark, to the animated Superman cartoons from the past 30 years before the 1990 series, to Batman the Animated Series, to Batman Brave and the Bold, Batman Beyond, and Static Shock, and Teen Titans, and what have you. As well as they have an immerse of movies, like they have all 4 original Batman movies up till tomorrow, according to what they said. They have all 4 original Christopher Reeve movies. They have Batman Begins in there. They have not all, but they have a majority or some of the DC animated extended universe movies, or DC original animated universe movies, like the more recent ones, like Batman Ninja and the Death of Superman, and several others, including the Wonder Woman movie, the animated one, that is. And probably a lot more to go in the future. Like, I have no doubt Justice League is going to be on there. Man of Steel is going to be on there. Dawn of Justice is going to be on there. Wonder Woman's going to be on there in eventual time. So, yeah, everything they've said so far, they've kind of delivered. They've even talked about the original programming, like the DC Daily, which is one of the original programs that just came out at the launch of the service. They even have documentaries in there as well. Yeah, they have documentaries as a part of this service as well. And they also have other programs coming in the near future. Of course, you got the controversial Titan series coming out next month. You have Stargirl, Swamp Thing coming out next year. You have Young Justice Outsiders, which is a continuation of the original Young Justice cartoon, coming out next year, as well as an animated adult comedy / action show focusing on Harley Quinn. So they got all this and probably a lot more. And the other thing that was a selling point is the fact that you could read comics digitally, and I don't know if you can get them physically, but you can read them digitally for free, or you have to buy several. Again, I just started the service, so I got to look into that. And then, of course, the other selling point is you can buy merchandise there, and you can buy certain merchandise there that you can't buy anywhere else, which is an intriguing selling point. But when I look at DC Universe's new streaming service, it makes me wonder if maybe Disney is going to go the same route, if not a similar route. I mean, you have all these different streaming services that have come out recently, like WWE Network. As I mentioned, they all aforementioned DC Universe. You have, let's see, what else do you have? You have Funimation. You have Anime Network. You have those networks there. You have Global Wrestling Network. Of course, you have Netflix and Amazon and Hulu, who are starting to get into the original programming game as well in recent years. So you got all these streaming services out there with established and original content, and the way you can, and the way the program, depending on your device, is identical to each other, if not a little different. Like you could see there's some similarities with DC Universe and I think Netflix. You could see similarities between DC Universe and Hulu. But my question is this, I should say. Will Disney go the same route? And let's be honest, Disney has a bigger, more established and plentiful library of content that they can use for the streaming service. A lot of people want to see the Disney Afternoon come back. We got the DuckTales reboot. Imagine if DuckTales reboot was alongside the original DuckTales on the streaming service. I mean, you would see the original, then you'd see the new. What more can you ask for? And to me, when I look at the DC Universe, that gives me an idea. That's almost like, it gives me a sample of what I think Disney's going to go for. True, Disney is going to be different. The design, the menu, the platforms, or basically the way, the interface, if you will, the interface menus are going to be completely different, if not similar. But I could see them going down a similar path. They have all these animated programs over the past 30 years. I could see them going down the path of bringing those programs to the streaming service. And I'm not just talking Disney Afternoon. I'm talking, shows like The Wuzzles. I'm talking things like the animated special that was supposed to be turned into a series, like Fluffy Dogs. I could see Kim Possible being put on there. Shows like that. What was that one character's name? Seymour or something like that. He was kind of like a detective, an FBI inspector, detective-like agent in school. You got Recess, you got 101 Dalmatians, the animated series. Hercules, the animated series, which takes place before the movie or in the middle of the movie. Stuff like that. Shows like that. They got a parental of a lot of programming in their archives. I mean, Welcome to Pooh Corner, Mouse-a-Size, Good Morning Mickey, Donald's Crack Attack. All these are just ready to be re-released, and the streaming service is probably the best option for that to happen. And when I see sorry about that, but when I see what DC Universe and Warner Brothers have done with their streaming service, it gives me hope that Disney is going to probably do something similar, if not more so. I've got a feeling what's going to happen is they're going to put them in categories to where, let's say animated program-wise, you're going to have Disney Afternoon error. You're going to have One Saturday Morning error. You're going to have, Saturday Morning error. Stuff like that. You'll have Raw Tunage back on there. You have Raw Tunage back on there. You'll have Masupulami. You'll have Little Mermaid. You'll have Aladdin. All these shows. As well as the movies that, some of them spawned from, like Little Mermaid, Aladdin, stuff like that. Along with original content that they're currently working on. I mean, they're currently working on what? A live-action Lady and the Tramp that's going to be a Disney streaming service original movie only. And then probably on Disney Channel later on. But you get the idea. I mean, they got a lot of programming, like I said, from Mouse-a-Size to Mousterpiece Theater. I mean, come on. There's a lot they could do here. They can even go back and do the Christmas in July thing they used to do with Toon Disney with the streaming service. So, in my opinion, my honest opinion, is Disney is going to look at all these streaming services that have come out, and they're going to look at DC Universe as being the final piece of the puzzle they need to make sure they have their streaming service going the way they want, because you can't tell me they ain't going to take inspiration from each and one of these streaming services that are already out. Most importantly, DC Universe that just came out, because like I said, that to me is the final piece in the puzzle for Disney to get themselves a proper idea of how to structure the interface menu, what programs to put on there, what original content to put alongside it, and what else they could do, like, maybe communities, like community outlet, like the DC Universe is doing with theirs. Maybe shopping for merchandise they can only get, courtesy of the Disney streaming service, like DC and Warner Brothers is doing with theirs. So there's a lot of possibilities, and I think this DC Universe's streaming service was the last piece of the puzzle that Disney needed to get themselves properly prepared and settled in for what they got planned for next fall. So, but yeah, Disney, I think, can take a page out of what DC Universe has done and probably capitalize and make that even better. But I think DC Universe was the last piece of the puzzle they needed, because I have a feeling what we're going to get with Disney, I'll put it this way. You think what you're seeing with the DC Universe right now is good, the interface and everything. Well, it's still kind of clunky in some areas, has to be fixed in some areas. Like, I tried to go onto, what was it, Superman, and the top menu part was kind of flickering a little bit. So they need to fix that. Hopefully they will. But point is, besides that, you take a look at their interface, take a look at Netflix and all that, and I got a feeling Disney's going to take a piece of each of those streaming services. Like I say, DC being the last piece of the puzzle needed, and they're going to take pieces from that, pieces from Netflix, pieces from Hulu, and they're going to put it all together into their own streaming service interface and go from there. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think DC Universe was the last piece of the puzzle that Disney needed to look at as far as getting their streaming service up and running? And do you think they'll take a page out of the DC Universe as well as some other streaming services out there like Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon? Let me know down below, guys. Comment if you like, and I'll talk to y'all later. But let me know what you guys think.